Somewhere along the way, my definition of success had to change. Success can't mean climbing and churning forever. At some point, we're supposed to hit success and then be on what was it, easy street? But what if success after 50 is actually a lot quieter than we expected, and we're in charge of it? Most of us, especially Gen X, growing up in the 80s, we inherited a very aggressive idea of what success is. Work harder, work longer, don't ask questions, just do it. Go for the bigger paycheck, the bigger title, the bigger house, the prettier this, the better that. The elusive Joneses, oh my goodness, they were living they were living the high life, and we were chasing after them back in the 80s. And it continued on through the 90s and the 2000s, and here we are. We're in our 50s. And for those of you who aren't quite 50 yet, stick around, because there's a lot of things that you can start doing now to make sure that when you get to our age, you're set up better than we are. So instead of asking, how high can I climb? How fast can I get there? I'm asking, why am I climbing anymore? I don't want the career track. I'm done with it. I got to tell you, after taking care of my mother during this last season of life, being the last parent that we have between my husband and I, you learn a lot of their situation and them looking back on their lives. And it kind of puts things into perspective for us now. I want to get to their age and beyond and know that I lived the life that I want to live. My success, it is no longer career, paycheck, title, the next fancy car base. No, it's not. It hasn't been for a while, but it is in perspective now. And I got a little to say about a lot of this. Actually, I got a lot to say about this. Come on, get a cup of coffee, get something cold to drink. Let's have a chat. So I'm actually going to read this to you because this song really summed it up for us back during the 80s. I'm going to try not to sing it, but it is playing in my head, and it's by that wonderful Scottish band, Talking Heads. You may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself, where does that highway go to? And you may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, my God, what have I done? If you're saying any of those lyrics to yourself right now, this is where that buck stops. We need to have a better center as we move into this next phase of our life, because our success is no longer based on the trappings of what we thought it was to begin with. We have all felt it over, say, the last 5-10 years when we got that last raise, the last promotion, and we are no longer the young, stupid versions of ourselves, what we thought we were. Oh, we were on the fast track. This is just great. The company thinks a lot of us. No, what we have realized, and younger versions of us, listen up. Yes, the company thinks a lot of you, but what they think is that you're willing to take on more and more and more for the same pay, with empty promises that you have to dress for the job that you want, and you have to take on the volume of extra work for the job you eventually want. So what they're doing, what it comes down to, and this was a hard lesson for a lot of us to learn, is you're actually giving it away for free. Grandmothers used to tell us, if you give away the milk for free, the man's never going to buy the cow. It works the same way in business. You're giving away the milk for free. They haven't bought the cow. So, younger versions, heads up. Those of us who are a certain age looking at this next chapter of our life, if you haven't had that realization, think about it. The costs that we have paid to get to where we are, this is where the rubber meets the road, because we have given so much more of ourself and our life than they've ever paid us for. We're burnt out, we're exhausted, we have missed how many school functions, how many vacations with the family, how many times were we called away in the middle of the night or the middle of a dinner or on a weekend? Heck, I've been pulled down from a ladder with a chainsaw in my hand because my boss called me 3 and 4 times back to back and I kept ignoring it. Finally, could not ignore it anymore. My second boss, my boss's boss, started calling me. So obviously somebody's bleeding, dying, something's blown up. Nope, it's not what that was at all. They had made a promise that they couldn't keep, and they're calling me on a weekend to make it for them. Really. So the older I get, the more I care about how success feels for me by my definition, and a lot less to what it looks like to other people. They may think I'm still chasing it, but I'm not. So I'm going to get alignment. I'm going to get alignment with this new idea of success. My calendar is going to reflect what I consider success. My spending. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road, my friends. If you don't know what you're spending, what it takes to actually live every month right now, in order for you to be successful in this next phase of life, you need to know that. So down in the description is a Master Your Money Plan. This is a free basic budgeting workbook. You need to know what it costs right now for you to live, what your total debt load is, if any, and what you need moving forward into retirement. Because when retirement gets here, you don't want to be surprised that what you thought you needed is way too little. So start living on your retirement budget now. Build some confidence that your next chapter, whether it's a full-blown retirement, a hybrid retirement, a glide retirement, or you're going to keep working but you're going to do it on your terms, all of that is going to tally up to what your success is. So go and get that freebie. Also, life experiences to income. This is where you can look at what you know how to do, even if you were a corporate CEO, a admin, a nurse, or a stay-at-home parent. You have skills that you can actually monetize to help fill in the gap. So you need to go look at that. Well, go and grab that. Success moving into this next phase of life also for me is not just income-based. Matter of fact, as long as I've got enough to meet my retirement budget every month, not income-based at all. What it is it is health-based, it is quality of life, it is restful and peace. These are things that I'm measuring success for in this next chapter of life. Leave down in the comments what your measure of success is going to be. What yardstick are you going to use when you leave this as your last job, you're working for somebody else, into this next chapter? What is a successful next chapter going to be for you? So when you look at the overall picture, your current budget, what you need when you retire, what your definition of success is going to be, what you're going to realize is that enough is always going to trump more when it comes to quality of life. So let's help each other define what enough looks like for you. If any of this topic has hit a nerve with you, I don't care if you are in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s, or if you're like me in your 50s, and you may just be getting started thinking about what the financial end of retirement looks like for you. Keep coming back. Like, share, subscribe. This is one of 7 videos this week in the 7th month of a series that I have done since the first of the year, all talking about retirement, from healthcare costs to budget planning, etc. So go and binge all of those. Send this video to somebody in your life who needs this information, and keep coming back. I'm Jenny. I post on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and sometimes I've got to get something off my chest, and I call it a jigger of gin. I'll see y'all soon. Stop recording. Most of us have never done this step: Retirement Reality Reset Kit and the Retirement Calculator spreadsheet. You have to know your number before you can make any decisions about your future. You don't want to go to retirement and realize you can't afford it. Let's figure that out now and see what life is going to look like later.